Hello and welcome back to Well Yeah, that wonderful, interesting, fascinating YouTube channel where we answer your questions about mental and emotional health. Please, you'll find an email address underneath. Just email us any question you've got to do with mental and emotional health, and we will do our best to include it. Let's have a look at what we've got as the next. Okay. This says, I really struggle opening up to people. I find it so difficult to get close to anyone, and as a result of all my relationships are shallow and I'm very lonely. How do I overcome this? Ooh. Lots of questions in there, lots of answers. I like to refer back to those basic human needs that we all have. We get a huge amount of our emotional nourishment and nutrition from our relationships with people, but people are difficult and quirky and strange and odd, and they don't do what we expected them to do, or they do what we expected them not to do, or they try and make us do things that we expect not to have to do, or they try and stop us doing things that we expected to do. We had all these expectations of people and we were disappointed and that hurt. So to avoid disappointment, we stay away from people, and then we get lonely and we don't get the emotional nutrition that we need. Not a good state of affairs, so it tends to go up and down. So how can we manage that? How can we get better? There are skills. This is about the skills. Having good relationships with people is about skills, things that you probably don't consciously think of, but nonetheless, they're very much part of our lives. Social skills and having social intelligence, having emotional intelligence, having good conflict resolution skills, all sorts of different things. But there's a very important aspect of it. One of the things that we all need in our lives is to have at least one person, but preferably quite a few, who just accept us. They accept us for who we really are, warts and all, every single little one of our oddities and quirks and strangeness. If we don't feel that we can be that, what we might end up doing is not being authentic. And then, when you're not being authentic with somebody, you're living a lie. And that's a hugely stressful thing. If you are just pretending to be somebody that you're not, just to fit in, then you're trying to join the wrong tribe. And I understand why you might do that, because you're lonely, but it really is worth just being yourself, just feeling that you can be yourself, that you can be really authentic, that you can just eventually trust in the fact that you'll find somebody, and hopefully a bunch of people, who will just accept you for who you are. I think if you've been traumatized by past events and by huge disappointments, and there's this established pattern in your brain that the moment you get too close to people, you get dumped or they disappear in some way, you get some sense that, abandonment might hurt you, then it might be an idea to get some proper therapeutic help. Find somebody that does the rewind technique, and you will find that separates out. I think I've done a video somewhere else on this channel about trauma. Have a look at that. You get out of relationships what you put into them, and it requires effort. And you've got to build sufficient resilience, in my view, to be able to suffer the disappointments of when relationships do go wrong. It is an unfortunate fact of life, I think, that most friendships have an expiry date. Most friendships have a best before date. And that's nothing to do with the fact that you thought they were a good friend, but they turned out to be a bad friend, or you thought you were a good friend, but you turned out to be a bad friend. It's much more to do with the notion that we as people change, we evolve, we grow, we go through our different phases of life when different things become important to us. And I think that's really worth thinking about, where you are in all that. I hope that is some help to you. Loneliness is nature's way of saying, get out of your chair and go and find some people. Go and find some people to whom you can connect and feel safe and feel accepted. And remember that you will get back something that's proportionate to the effort that you put into those relationships. Hope that's some help to you. If you like, please like, subscribe, share, hit that bell, and we'll let you know when there's another fascinating video comes up. But meanwhile, please take good care of each other and take excellent care of yourself.